So welcome to UK Casuals, another football podcast, talk from the terraces. As you can see, we've got Gary Harris back after hiding after Watford's.
I just would like to point out we lost this weekend, mate.
Yeah. And he's still here.
Sorry.
Wait. And on that note, QPR lost today, and I didn't feel like coming on today. I was sulking for about 5 minutes. I got over it.
For about 5 minutes, Dave. Okay. Right, first of all, I think it's worth mentioning the sad story about this poor little boy, Arthur.
Mate, it nearly had me crying, mate. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, how there was a great thing today at Millwall with Birmingham. Put their rivalries aside. We'll insert clip. So as you can see,
many clubs did it. Yeah, many clubs.
Yeah, fans putting their rivalries aside, and it always seems to be the football lads, Gal, doesn't it?
The football community. I mean, you know, yeah, all right. The football community is made up of many different people with their own opinions, their own political persuasions. I think, but when it comes to push comes to shove, the football community always comes together in a time of need, and we could turn this show political if we talk about this lad, mate, because I've got my opinions about one that's horrible, and I won't say the word because it might get us banned, but them two people just hope they suffer for the rest of their lives. Yeah. I actually don't want them to die quick. I want them to suffer. Yeah. I do. I want them to fucking suffer. But it's a football show. We don't want to talk about social services and the pile of shit they are.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I mean, what's your feelings, Dave? I mean, it's the football community always rally round when it's something like this. You know.
Yeah, they do. The football community, well, football lads are working class. Usually, I know that, like Gary said, football fans come from all different walks of life and all different, the left wing, right wing, no wing, whatever wing. So yeah, I don't want to get political, but football lads in general, yeah, they do have a sort of like an ethical code of conduct where they do stick together, like we're always raising money for people's funerals or something like that. And it's absolute tragedy. It's just horrible. You don't want to think about it too much, to be honest with you.
No.
It'll tear you up. Like, really
no, we don't want to dwell on it, but it's just the right thing to do.
It's something that everyone should be talking about, because how many times have we, yes, the football community come together, but how many times have we got to be told, oh, well, we missed this, we missed that. Oh, we didn't see there was a problem. Yeah. This has been going on for decades. This isn't new.
You know what it is?
Not. I think that's the sad story, Gary, isn't it? This is not new. You know, this is nothing new. You know, like I say, we don't want to turn it political. You know.
No. Best to you
know, just to mention Rotherham and stuff. But you know, this time it's not about Muslim grooming gangs, and the football community are still up in arms about it. So that, I think that says a lot for the football community.
I mean, look, you've said that now, so we've got to understand, you know, you've got that element of disgrace to this country. You've got the element of parents that have tortured their children. This isn't the first case.
No.
This isn't by a long way. No. You've got the institutionalised... We shouldn't be doing this on this show, but we've got institutionalised homes that... How I don't know.
How does it go on in this day and age?
This isn't the show for it. What you'll have to do is set up a rant show.
yeah, we will do.
It's just the whole concept, and the football fans. I guess it is topical because the football fans have taken this to heart, like they do other things.
Yeah.
When will normal people, be listening to it? Say, surely to God, these fucking idiots in these offices need to get their act together. It's not thousands and thousands and thousands of children over the decades have been abused and raped.
Yeah.
If anyone's watching this news in any one of them departments, fucking lower your head.
Can I just say one thing on the matter, right? It boils down to one particular thing, right? Because I worked for 7 years in the drug and alcohol field, and you had to work with social services and child protection, etc., etc. Fear comes into play. People are the workers, number one, think it's too much work to bring up something because it's too much paperwork or whatever. And also it's fear that they speak out. They're scared because of all this political correctness and shit that goes on. And that is the most disgusting part of it.
Yeah. People lose their jobs, Dave, over this sort of thing. If they speak out.
They fucking should. They should lose their jobs. Whoever was involved in that should be fucking ostracised.
It just goes down to a lot of can't even say that they didn't see it. It's not even a case of neglect. It's just shit. Anyway, on to the football. England women, the score earlier in the week, they beat Latvia 20-0, Dave. 20-0.
Wow.
I mean, if this was the England men's side, this would be everywhere. So firstly, Dave, how do you feel about women's football and how do you feel about the score 20-0?
Well, women's football is up and coming, ain't it? It's fair play. They're doing quite well. As you know, I live in Ireland, right? So, I'm in touch with what goes on. The Irish women won 11-0 as well against Georgia, which was on RTE. But to win 20-0, that is something else. And the women are getting better and better, actually, to be honest with you. The actual, but it goes to show there's only a certain amount of teams that really are doing it. Whereas there's a big gap between, say, England
massive,
and the bigger teams and these smaller countries. It's a huge gap. So the other teams have a lot of catching up to do, even if they ever do catch up, which they probably will never do. So, but fair play to the England ladies. Excellent, man. Brilliant.
Yeah, how do you feel about it, Gary? I mean, how do you feel about women's football as a whole?
I mean, I agree with what Dave's saying about, women's football. Women's football's only really come into the equation with all the publicity and everything in the last 5 years. So men's football has been developing for 100 years. Women's football's been developing for a few decades, don't get me wrong, but only really come to fruition in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it is. And I think a 20-0 win does no good to anybody, in my view. Scotland lost 8-0. Now, even when you go back, Scotland got beat by Spain 8-0 as well. If you go back to when the men's game was very uneven, it's a lot less like that. I mean, all right, it's 10-0 against San Marino. That was always going to happen. But you go back to them days in the 80s, you play Luxembourg, you play these people, England winning by 6, 7, 8-0. That's bad enough. 20-0.
Yeah.
What does that do for Latvian football? For a start, it destroys it. Yeah. It doesn't do the global women's game any good at all. And whilst the global game, as Dave said, there's only a few sides in the upper echelons, maybe they do need to look at a grading system. It can't do anybody in getting beat 20-0. Their country, the girls, you know. I mean, they drooled all over it, the BBC, you know, as they do. And I mean, I've heard people saying it was like Mike Tyson fighting a 10-year-old. And I've seen some clips of some of the stuff the Latvian player, the goalkeeper, I don't know if you've seen that one. Where,
the goal kicks you did, Gal.
You know,
we shouldn't laugh, but yeah.
I'm not into women's football. I'm not that interested in it, and that's my own choice.
Of course.
I do watch it if it's on telly now and again. I don't think anyone winning 20-0 does a developing sport, 'cause that's what it is.
Yeah.
The men's game has been going on 100 years more, or a lot more, well, quite a bit more. The women's game really is a new, up-and-coming, developing sport. So you are going to get that, the difference in thing. But I just, 20-0 is beyond a joke.
It is.
I don't think it's done their game any good at all. You know, fair play to England, they're good enough to do it. But
yeah,
I don't think the women's game benefits from that at all.
Okay. My other subject, and I've only saw this today, is Liverpool at Wolves. And I don't know if you've seen it, but now Liverpool have got this reputation for being, you know, thieving bastards for whatever reason that was, from the casual scene going over to Europe and nicking all the Adidas and
mate, that also was Matty, just to let you know, in the 80s the Scousers would come and do the jeweller shops wherever they to pay for the away day
as well. Yeah.
I remember Watford High Street jewellers having police fucking guards outside when Liverpool
were in town. Yeah.
Why they would need a seat? They really are quite, you know. Close.
But this guy has been caught taking a seat at the away end at Wolves after Liverpool's dramatic last-minute winner. And I'll insert clip. Now, as you can see from that clip, he was trying to stick it under his or down his jacket or what? I don't know what he was. I just don't get it, Gary. What's the score, mate? What's your opinion?
He needs help. I mean, he is literally trying to stuff it under his jacket and zip it up. It's a foxy plastic seat, for God's sakes. I can't. I haven't got it. I can't.
Is he going to stick it on eBay?
No, it just.
Yeah,
oh, mate, he was on the sniff, mate. He got to have been.
He's got
maybe. Yeah. Maybe he needs it as a bulletproof vest or something.
Well, that'd be handy. That'd look nice in the garden.
Any reason, Dave, is as good as another why you would take that seat.
God knows.
Who knows? Okay, Dave, we'll go over to the results. You're going to do the Premier League and the Championship, and then we'll move over to Gary to do Div 1 and the lower leagues. So over to Dave's Pot Pickers, mate.
Hey, hello, Pot Pickers, back again. Well, we'll start with Premier, obviously. There was no games on Friday in the Premier. It started from yesterday. And here's a biggie. I like this result, actually, personally. On a personal note, West Ham 3, Chelsea 2, which knocked Chelsea off the top. And the thieving Scousers went top after that smash and grab raid at Wolves. Newcastle won, Burnley 0. A big win for Newcastle with the new manager, Eddie Howe, because they've been suffering down the bottom quite a bit. So they finally get a win. The Southampton won, Brighton won, the South Coast, sort of South Coast derby. It's not a derby, it's a South Coast kind of game. Expected a draw there, I suppose, really. Wolves 0, Liverpool 1, as we saw, 95th minute smash and grab winner, which took Liverpool top for about half an hour or so. Here's your team, Gary. Watford won, Man City 3, which then put Man City back on top after Liverpool were there for about an hour or whatever. And yeah, you couldn't knock Watford because you wouldn't expect to beat Man City, I suppose. But you know, one of them things.
Oh, mate, we normally ship about 8 goals against them.
Yeah, so that ain't too bad.
That was the right result for Watford.
Yeah, so at least you scored.
And we scored.
Yeah. Leeds 2, Brentford 2. Brentford have started to, get a few good draws away, aren't they, recently? A good result for Brentford there. Man U 1, Palace 0. So they're back to winning ways, Man United. Spurs 3, Norwich 0. Norwich back to themselves. Spurs getting a few goals. And I haven't seen this evening. I know Villa were winning 2-1 against Leicester, but I don't know the final result there.
No, neither do I, Dave.
Villa Leicester with Gerrard in charge. Not sure.
I'll check it up now for you.
Right. We now go to the Championship. The Friday game, which was a biggie for QPR because we were in third. Go on, Gary. Have you seen the result there?
Yeah, Villa 2-1 at the moment.
So that's a good result. That's a good thing for Gerrard. He's
carrying on. Yeah, he's doing well.
Now this would have been a good one for QPR on my personal note. Fulham won, Bournemouth won because we could have moved up nearer Bournemouth if we won today, but we didn't. So shit happens. Coventry won, West Brom 2, a bit of a Midlands derby going on there. West Brom actually getting a win, which is quite. And Coventry were doing well, so that's a good result for West Brom. Barnsley won, Huddersfield won. There you go. There's a Yorkshire derby, so a draw is the usual caper in a derby like that. Blackburn won, Preston. That's another derby, isn't it? That's a Lancashire. Did someone actually do these bleeding fixtures so it was all derbies or what here? Blackpool 0, Luton 3. Not a bad result for Luton there. Your old foes and QPR's old foes there. Bristol City 1, Derby 0. Derby, unfortunately, are really rooted down the bottom there of all those points deducted, bless them. Cardiff 2, Sheffield United 3. Some result that for Sheffield United. Borough, Middlesbrough 1, Swansea 0. Doesn't really mean nothing to me, that result. Millwall 3, Birmingham 1. So Millwall had a good win there. To score 3 goals as well. Forest 2, Peterborough 0. Reading 1, Hull 1, and of course today, which I watched the game, and we had a load of injuries. QPR, no excuses. We had loads of injuries. Had to reshape. Missed a penalty at 1-0 down. Charlie Austin gutted for him. Their keeper absolutely played a world. The Stoke keeper. He just kept everything out. He weren't letting a goal in today. That was it. End of story.
That was lined up.
And that ended QPR's run of 31 league games that we've scored. So they kept the first team to keep a clean sheet against us this season. Stoke, well done, Stoke. You played out your skins today. Fair play to you. 2-0 to Stoke.
Okay, before we go over to Gary, is there any subjects that you wanted to bring up, Dave?
Any subjects?
Yeah. Anything that's caught your eye this week?
On a personal note, nothing. I haven't really been keeping an eye. I've been so busy at work and getting home late. I haven't really been able to keep. But Charlie Austin, when he missed the penalty, he was gutted. He got subbed after a while. He came off, and as he got in the dugout, it looked like he was in tears almost. He was absolutely gutted. So I just want to say that a big one to Charlie Austin because he's got his heart at QPR. He really has. You can see how gutted he was to miss that penalty today. And if there's anyone out there, which has been a load of idiots out there slating him, QPR fans on the old social media, turn it in. He don't think he on purpose. It's one of them things that happens to the best of them. And I just want to big up Charlie Austin because his heart is there. And he was gutted today when he got subbed. That's all I want to say today, really, to be honest. And how these idiots slate people, their own players on social media. There's no need to bring the man down any further. That's what I'm saying. I don't like all that social media bollocks, people slagging someone off after one game, one poor game or whatever. When we're winning, it's a different story. They're all over, yeah. But when as soon as we lose, you get the negative debate come out and start blaming people and all that. And I just think that's nonsense. I don't know what Gary thinks about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mate. Before we do Division 1 and the lower league, any subjects, Gary?
We ain't going to be doing that. It's FA Cup weekend, mate.
Oh, of course it's FA Cup. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I did notice a thing on Proper Football that you've got a live show starting soon. So you just want to tell us just a quick plug?
Yeah, so the idea is that me, Simon and Dan will do it on Facebook and it'll be live on Facebook and then it'll go out to multiple platforms at the same time. And really, we just want to see how it goes. So we're going to do a pilot soon. We're not sure. We've not got a date yet. And it is going to be an open, honest chat about whatever going on in football at whatever level. And it's going to be the sort of conversations a little bit like us that you ain't going to get on other platforms, you know. But it's live. And the thing about it being live is you can contribute. And the idea will be that we will bring on a guest to sit with us beyond as well. So a different one every week or something, just to have a chat about, you know, and like, for instance, like you bring on not just like football lads, but we bring on maybe people like Andrew Cushion, the Newcastle lad who's really, really taken off in the pop world, shall we say. You know, maybe Zach from the Skinner Brothers, and they but to talk about their football, and then they can touch on their careers as well. But the key will be is that people can get involved immediately. So either via email, they'll have an email address, or on the comments, and so people live will be able to bring up conversations, and you know we're more than happy to indulge awkward ones.
Yeah, so to speak. Yeah.
Sounds interactive, very interactive.
Sorry?
Sounds like an interactive sort of show. Like.
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's you know, it's not a podcast.
No.
It literally is just a live chat. We're going to do a pilot and just see how it goes. And if we think,
mate. Good luck with that.
Yeah, if it's worth pursuing.
Yeah.
You know, and like, you know, 1 week we'll invite you on, Dave. 1 week we'll invite Matty on. You know, just talk about football like we do now, but also about you. You know, and what people want to talk about, and people might want to ask you a question. They can, you know. So I think there's a gap for something of this nature, purely on the basis that we are. How do you put this? We are original working class proper fans. You know, none of us love the modern game as such. So you know, that's why proper football's there. And we'll say it as it is as well. You know, regardless of what people think, we're allowed our opinion, and people will be allowed their opinion as well. So it won't be a closed shop to say, well, you know. I'm sure in different generations, younger generations, modern day football, they love it. You know, I don't.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll find out, and I'm sure you'll get comments to tell you.
Yeah, good and bad.
So
that's what it is. Yeah.
Speaking of a different zone, just before we finish up, I've got an interview coming up with a guy called Stuart Wolfenden. He played Herbie in the film Dead Man's Shoes. I don't know if you remember him. He was the first guy that got terrorised and the last guy to get stabbed. So basically, that's a little... I normally have football guys on and other guys that run football clothing brands and stuff like that. So this is a little bit of a different interview for me. Also got Frank Portinari coming on part 2. Looking really forward to that. Frank's got lots of stories and he'll be speaking about his own podcast, which he does. He speaks to a lot of different people as well. And hopefully Stephen Cowans from Sheffield United should be coming on hopefully next week. So that's UK Casuals interviews running right up till Christmas. And then next year there'll be more interviews coming up and whatever. So really, I think, gentlemen, that's about it.
Are we not going to cover off the FA Cup?
Oh no, sorry, Gary. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, no. So what we'll do is we'll end up with the FA Cup results. Yeah. So over to you, Gal.
Yeah, and just quickly, just to say about the what we're looking to do with proper football, like when like you bring people on for an interview. That's not what we're going to be doing. No. So we'll bring people on, but it ain't an interview. They're going to be part of the panel.
Part of the discussion.
Yes, we'll talk about them. They can promote whatever they want to promote, but it won't be an interview. It'll be your part of that for that week, different. So completely different concept to what we do with UK casuals. So hopefully they complement each other well. Okay, FA Cup. She wore a yellow ribbon. She wore a yellow ribbon in the merry month of May.
Yes.
And when anyway, right, go on, shut up, Cal. I'm sure that.
I'll finish that song off. No.
Right.
She wore that ribbon.
started Friday night with two of the non-league sides going up against league opposition, and that was Gateshead against Charlton, which did finish 2-0 to Charlton, and Rotherham against Stockport, who gave us that spectacular game against Bolton Wanderers. They went down to Rotherham 1-0. Moving on to Saturday's results, we had Buxton, another non-league side, going out, I'm afraid, going down 1-0 to Morecambe. What a great little run they went on. They're probably one of the lowest ranked sides. Great little run, but they went down to Morecambe 1-0. Wimbledon 4-3 winners against Cheltenham. Bristol Rovers, I know Simon's very happy because first time in donkey's years they've reached the third round. Let's hope they draw Watford and then we can have some fun with Simon. Bristol Rovers 2, Sutton United was 1. Burton 1, Port Vale 2, Cambridge 2, Exeter 1, Carlisle 1, Shrewsbury 2, Doncaster 2, Mansfield 3, Ipswich 0, Barrow 0, Leyton Orient 4, Tranmere 0, Lincoln City 0, Hartlepool 1, Portsmouth 1, Harrogate 2, Walsall 1, Swindon 2, and Yeovil going through to the third round non-league, getting a 1-0 win at home without a sloping pitch.
Yeah. Hey, Gary,
remember that back in the day, mate, they were proper giant killers, Yeovil. It was always that sloping pitch.
We played
but they were 1-0 winners over Stevenage. So we do have one non-league representative so far. Today's results have brought up Rochdale 1, Plymouth 2, Colchester 1, Wigan 2, Kidderminster Harriers becoming the second non-league side to join the ranks of non-league sides. No, not ranks, I got that wording wrong, didn't I? But anyway, Kidderminster 2, Halifax 0. And currently playing with 4 minutes left to go. It is a third side into the third round, without a doubt, unless there's a miracle. But it's Salford 0, Chesterfield 2. Then we got a fourth guaranteed non-league side into the third round, because tomorrow night we got the game, which is a massive game, seriously. Boreham Wood playing St Albans. It is a huge derby.
Yeah.
That is a massive derby.
You could almost say, like Gary, you could almost say that's a Watford-Luton derby.
You could, and it would be very surprising if there isn't some fun and games out there tomorrow.
I would expect so, Gal. Yeah.
Boreham Wood against St Albans City tomorrow will give us a fourth non-league side in the third round, and then all the big boys come in. I believe the draw is on Monday. We look forward to that, the third round of the FA Cup, and that's it.
Thank you very much, Gal. I've just noticed, Gary, you've got Christmas decorations up. Today, well, actually, we're going to have to get our act together, mate.
Well, as you can see, I've only just started putting them up. I've only got one end up there. And then look at me. Hang on.
Boy, did you run out of blue tack?
There's my little tree with a Santa hat on, look. And it has got little battery operated. Because I'm in my little thing in my shed in the garden.
Your man cave.
New batteries, mate, for the lights.
The quick one about Christmas decorations. One of my mates put this post up, which I thought was hilarious today. You know, he said, I've got my tree up. You know them little air freshener trees you get for the weather?
Yeah.
He stuck one of them up in his wall. He goes, I've got the tree up, lads.
That's it. Job done.
Yeah,
that's it. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. It's been as entertaining as ever. I still can't get over that Scouser sticking the seat down his jacket. What? Football fans are mad, but that's why we love the game.
I've got a theory.
Go on, Dave.
A Wolves fan pre-ordered it off him for a souvenir.
For an away end seat.
Christmas.
As I say, any theory is as good as others because, as Gary said, who knows why the bloody fella done it. Okay, so we'll reconvene next week. Just like to say thank you very much, Gary. It's been good to have you back. So thank you very much. There'll be more videos coming from UK Casual soon.